Hey, welcome back to our video series. We are creating different projects, different samples of work for the ER4U robot from Intelitek. This video series is a series of lessons that we do here in class. It explores different options and different things that you can do with the robot. Today we're going to add a pneumatic feeder, and to show you how the simulator actually works with the pneumatic feeder. The real life pneumatic feeder requires that you turn the inputs on and off. We need to do the same thing with this one. As you would turn the pneumatic feeder on, it would push out a pneumatic piston, which would put a cube out in a place where the robot can reach it. Then by turning it off, then the piston retracts and then reloads with another cube. So that's similar to what we want to do today, although the simulator facsimile of the pneumatic feeder doesn't look anything like the real one. But we'll go ahead and use it today anyway. So let's start a new program, and this would be robot number 9 in our series. As we have talked about before, use the roller ball to roll back and forth. When you push the right mouse button down, you can zoom and rotate. So those are the 3 ways that you have control. You also have a hand that you can use to move around, to move it up and down in the position as you roll back and forth. So the other hand control we use to drag objects, and we'll show you that in just a minute. So the new object list is here. If you lose it by any chance, it's up here in the corner of our cell setup toolbar. You can bring it back, and then sometimes you lose it, so then it's easy enough to bring it back. So our robot, our E4, is the only one listed, so when you double snap, you have your choice of slide base, no slide base. For most of these at this point, we won't use the slide base, and it kind of puts it out in the middle of nowhere. Under the general, then you can have a table. So our table top can be done with different colors. I am feeling a little blue today, so let's put a blue one out there. Now you can put anywhere on the floor. Here's your object. You drag, so drag your object underneath there. I always like to put the robot to the back side of the table, so I have all this real estate out here to work with. And then under storage devices, you will find the feeder. Now when you double snap on it, you have 2 things you have to do. We have to load it up. So we're going to load it up with 3 cubes today. And, oh, not done yet. Oh man. So I don't know if I can get these things back on there. Let's see once. Here's our feeder. Okay, so I was able to get it back. So under, how did I get it? I snapped it out here too quickly. Under control setup, here's our feeder. So we don't need inputs. If we want to, we could slide it up under number 2, but actually the output we're going to use that a lot, so we want to put it at number 1. So you still can, even if you close it out too quickly like I did, you still can get the control back, and then make sure you hit apply. And you'll notice then that it still gives us the ability, and we already have the 3 cubes. All right, so the first thing we want to do is let's rotate it so that the end is sticking towards the robot, and -90 will do that for us. And then we also want to position. So let's position it out at a 45-degree angle from the robot. So 250 for the X, 250 for the Y, and then there it is. Now, it seems though that we got to load it up with a cube right here on the pad before we go away. So under our materials, we need to put a cube out there. Now, depending on what color cube you put, it just will automatically add. It's not like you can put a red one and a blue one and a yellow one in there. whichever you pick for the first cube, those are the ones that will pick, they'll all come out red, or they'll all come out blue. Now in the real pneumatic feeder, obviously we can load it up with plastic, wood, different colored. We can do red, blue, yellow. But once we put a red cube on there, which we will do, and you have to put it right on this pad, right there, and load it up ahead of time. That seems the way the simulator works. Let's put it at the same position, 250, 250. And there it is, centered up on that spot. So this is the way we have to set it up. So now we can save it, and save it to the desktop. That's a nice place where you can find it quickly in case you make a mistake. Desktop, let's save it as robot number 9. So we've done this 3-4 times already today. So yes, let's replace it with number 9, and there you have it. So that's what you need to start. So let's go to RoboCell now and start the program. So File New. So a couple things you got to do. Remember to switch it over to Pro, because we are professionals. We expand. And now let's add our home position. Please remember these numbers. 130 for X, our Y is 0, the Z is 330. The pitch is -90 and the roll stays at 0. Remember the most important piece, hit teach, otherwise it won't record. All right, so let's bring our image in then. So let's import under the file. Let's find robot number 9. There it is. Now you notice that red cube disappeared. That just seems to be the way the simulator works. But if we didn't put it on there to begin with, we would not be able to get the robot to function and then to start grabbing it right away. So we discovered that over a couple, 3 years of trying to get it to work. So there you have it. So let's put in position number 99 and let's open the grip. So let's do blue line at the top. Let's do a single cycle and let's see if it moves. So yep, it's connected. And if you're worried about being connected, under the option button, you see that we have the check mark placed at the simulator. If we were to try to connect with the real robot, we'd want to use the on. Try to click at the on to see if it would actually work to that. If we click on hardware setup, we don't really, right now we're not working with the slide base or the rotary table, so we're not worried about that. But we are working now with a gravity feeder, which we have to turn on and off. So let's get over to a position number 99 where we're going to grab that cube. Let's go from the 99 position over to position 1, and then we'll have position 2 where it's actually going to reach down and grab the cube. So let's create a position 1. So we want to get over the top of that pad, 250, 250, and let's call it 200. So we don't have to reach up too high, and then teach. Now our position 2 will be the same position, but we're discovered that this little pad here on the on this pneumatic feeder has some thickness. So we have to add about 40 millimeters to our 17.5. So let's just round it up to 57. And then as we come down to grab it, we actually have to turn it at 45 degrees so we can grab it on the flat side. So here's going to be the way we're going to do it. So let's put position 1 in there. So let's send it to position 1 by doing a single line. Now let's turn our feeder on and off. So let me move my picture to this side and input on would be number 1, And before we forget, let's just go ahead and turn it off right away so we can energize it to open and close. And then we can go to position 2, grab the cube when it pops up, close the grip, and then go back to position 1. So let's see if that works. Now, since we're going to do this 3 times, you're going to see that I can cut and paste this grouping right here each and every time just to be able to grab the cube. And then we'll move it to 3 different positions out here. Cube 1, the first one is going to end up at 250, negative 250. The second cube out of the chute will end up at 250, negative 80. And the third one will end up at 400, and the Y will be 0. So that we'll need to make above positions for each one of those, and then we'll be done. So let's just see if this works. So I'm at position 1 right now. So let's run the single cycle. Ah, there it went. Pop up on a feeder, we grab it, went back to number 1. So that does work. So we're going to copy. I can copy this from line 3 to line 4. I can right click on it, and I'm going to copy. So let's just leave that into the copy base for now. So let's add some new positions. I'm just going to go through right now, and I'm going to take a little bit of time to record positions 3, 5, and 7, and 4, 6, and 8. I have my teaching positions already filled out, so I'm just going to use the chart to do that, starting with position 3. So position 3 is 250, negative 250, 200, and we can turn that back to 0 and teach. We want to set it down on the table, number 4. So number 4 is 250, negative 250. And we're going to push it off, and just let's set it down on the table just a little bit higher this time so we don't have impact. And teach. Number 5. Position number 5. 250, negative 80. Now my worksheet actually says 300 for the Z, but we can narrow it down so it goes a little quicker. We can put to 200, but the actual worksheet says 300. Now let's do 6. So 6 is related to this. Let's do 25. Let's do 7. Position 7. Notice how I keep hitting the teach button. Position 7 is 400, 0, 200, and teach. Position 8 is the same. It's right underneath this one. So we'll just switch this to 25 and teach. So let's see what we got. So 1 through 8. Yep, that's what we want. And position number 99. So there you have it. So now if I wanted to get any given position, let's say I made a mistake on position 4. I put the number there, and then I can hit the words get position, and then it gives you what you recorded in position number 4. So if you had to make a change, you wanted to change anything, change the number, and then again, remember to hit teach. So let's go back to our diagram now. Switch papers. So now we want this cube to go to number 3 and then number 4. So let's do the straight line. So we want it to go to position 3, then position 4, and then we want it to open the grip. So let's see if we can get it to do that. So let's see, 3 and 4, run a cycle, 3, 4, Open grip. Beauty. Let's go back to 3. Single line. Okay. So now I can hit my copy, my paste button now, and have it go back to 1, on and off, to position 2, close the grip, go back to 1. Let's see if it does that. So run a single cycle. So when you have positions that you repeat, there it is. Now we could actually create a loop where we would have a mathematical formula rather than continuing to add to this list, because we're going to run through this 2 more times. So now we want to go to position 5. The diagram says 5 to 6. Now I want to open the grip. See here, kind of the same thing. We're going to open the grip because I want to leave it there. And then I want to go back to position 5, because remember the safety factor is you always kind of want to come up and down out of the cell in a straight line. So it's at 1. Let's start it right here. Single cycle. Let's have it to go 5 and 6. Open a grip. Sweet. All right. Cut and paste time. Paste. Let's run the cycle. There you have it. So now we got 7 and 8. So 7. Move it to 8 where it sets it on the table. Okay. Open grip. Back to 7. Alright, so do we really need to go get another cube? Nope, we're done. So let's just send it home. Send it to 99. And good housekeeping, let's close the grip. So let's try that. So let's see, it started at 7. Run the cycle. Nice. Looking good. So let's do this. Let's reset the cell. Let's see if it can run through one time. Zoom in some with the blue line at the top. Now let's run a single cycle. Run it all the way through from the top. Should have a little music. Should I hum? Should I whistle? Oop, there it comes on, reaches down. Notice then that the jaws grab it on the sides because we have that set up at a 45-degree angle. Now we're going to put it at the first position, 250, negative 250. Open grip. Now, bears back to 3, so now we repeat the cycle that we pasted in there. 1, on, off, 2, back to 1. Now we're going to go to position where cube number 2 has to go. And that would be 250, negative 80. Still, you can see that's on the left to center for our robot. Left of center because that's a negative Y. And now let's have it get the last one. On and off, there it is. Now we've loaded it up with 3 cubes, even though we might even want to try for a next time to try to get another cube out of it. We won't. So we might as well just call it a day, head back home, close the grip, bag it, boom. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's our pneumatic feeder. This is the end of Robot 9. So we'll see you next time.